Move your body, baby, bam, bam, bam. When I shake it, I must feel like the show. Come on, baby, run, run, run. Quiero eso, dale long, long, long. Wine it up, baby, wine, wine, wine. Take it, go, do it one more time. Feel the rush, perfect moment like Kodak. Feel around my Camara, Tamara. Feeling like you never felt before.